Tell him why you mad, son. So yeah, I figured I'm doing some editing, but I'm like so slow with the editing this week. I said I'm gonna just keep going live so that I can touch the people while I edit, and y'all not so pissed off about me not dropping nothing while I'm editing. But I'm editing Skywalker still and this Eagles fans content right now. So I'm gonna jump on here. Plus, need a new plug on some all 22 film, man. They keep messing up my new little avenues to go get it. Dallas Cowboys hard hitter. What up? He said, "What up, my guy AKOYE? What's good with you, man? Spell my name wrong, but what's good with you? Trey Manning, what's good? Talk your talk. What's up, man? Young Money, Shmoney. What's good with you, man? I know it's early. A lot of y'all got real jobs and shit, so you know some of y'all probably not gonna be on here. Sugar Daddy, Juan Williams. I know what you into, OG. It ain't tricking. They say it ain't tricking if you got it, right? I guess. Texas T, we in the building. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Make sure when y'all come in, y'all immediately hit that like button. You know, you already know Texas T. I appreciate that. 704 DC for life. He said, "Koye, talk that ish, my G." Yes, sir. You already know I ain't got nothing else to do. Might as well. You know what I mean? Davey 84, that's my guy, man. You was arguing some of my motherfucker too, man. Davey be arguing. What's up, Yurt? What's good with you? Sadiqa. Sadiqa, somebody was using your name the other day. Sadiqa, they was killing me. Man, I hope we get Jonathan Taylor, my dude. I mean, he out there, so it'd be nice to get him, but he gonna have the same problem here. We don't want to pay running backs. We want to pay a couple of them, not one of them. Yeah, they don't want to pay all of them. But yeah, what's good? Let's dig right in. Let me see. I said, "What's up, everybody? What's goody, Jazzy Jeff?" Um, I was looking at the person. I think we was talking. Me, shout out to Coach Marv. We was talking last live a couple days ago, maybe it was 2 days ago, and we were discussing the 3-4. And when you look at the Cowboys roster, the way it's lined up now, it actually did make sense. Like, yo, the 3-4 makes more sense for the Cowboys at this point than the 4-3. So I don't know if Dan Quinn's up to something where he's, that's where he wants to go with it, because we've been slowly bringing in guys that are suited for that 3-4 role rather than the traditional 4-3. Although they can play 4-3, but when you look at guys like Chauncey, when you look at guys like Fiocco, even D Law at this stage in his career, you got guys that are suited for 3-4 defensive end. Osa, those guys are 3-4 defensive end types that are playing either defensive end or 3 tech. And the way they're lined up, if you look at it positionally, even when they talked about, I was just listening to the press conference with Dan Quinn, when they talked about the position flex with LVE, he was real tight-lipped about it, as if, he just didn't want to give away too much. And I thought that was an indication that we may see a little bit more 3-4 front this season. And I hope we do, because the way we're constituted, I think rotationally it will help us. We would be a little bit better. We would get different guys on the field that don't usually get on the field, and it allow us to use a lot more of our athleticism. So I think that we might be going that way, because when you look at it and you say, okay, the rotation as a 4-3, where you got 2 defensive ends, you got Micah that's taking up a slot at defensive end now, and then you'll have either Sam Williams or Fowler or D Law opposite side of him. But you can get D Law on the field, and to me, getting D Law and Osa on the field at all times, or a lot more, would be beneficial for this defense. So if you had, and also having the ability to put another 1 tech out there opposite side Hankins, and still keeping D Law and or Osa out there with them as well, instead of taking Osa off the field and having Mazi or Bohanna play that. Well, I don't think Bohanna will ever do anything other than 1 tech, to be honest, unless it's like an obvious running situation and we're in 3-4. But when you look at the 3-4 from this perspective, I wish I should do charts and graphs and shit, man. That's what I'll start doing, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I like visual aids. Yo, what up with you, big bro? I'm good. What's up, Mike? But when you look at it positionally, man, think about it like this. Like, if you have those big guys that you're able to get 3 down linemen on the field that are hefty guys at one time, and then still have Fowler and or Parsons and or Sam Williams and Parsons, or Law and whoever on the field at the same time. And when I say Law, I leave Law out of it, because I'm thinking in the 3-4 you would put Law as a 3-4 defensive end because he likes to be in that B gap anyway, you will just leave him there. Leave Law where he likes to be. Put Osa opposite side, the nose tackle on the other side of the field, and then Hankins is in the middle of the field, and that's your starting three right there. So Hankins, Osa, and Law. Law inside of Parsons, pause, and then Osa inside of whoever that stand-up outside linebacker would be on the other side. I'm thinking it's probably a toss-up between Sam Williams and Fowler at this point. I don't think Armstrong gonna be here, man. I haven't even seen Armstrong. I forgot about him. I really forgot about him. I don't know what the fuck Armstrong about to be doing, but the 3-4 would be good. Inside linebacker wise, I see you talking sugar daddy. Inside linebacker wise, how you will handle the depth though? You already got LVE there. You got Cox that can play there, and then you have guys that come Clark that can play there. So you have a three linebacker rotation inside. I think that's good enough. And then if you want to bring Harper in, Harper's there. So if you have your starting two would be Clark and LVE, and then rotationally you got Cox and Harper behind them. Even with no Overshawn, you still got a good linebacker core, I think, right there. From there, like I said, on the outside, you got a rotation of Parsons on the outside, Fowler on the outside, Sam Williams on the outside. If Land makes the team, makes the 53, excuse me, about to sneeze. Guess not. Thought it was. Excuse me. But yeah, if Land makes the start, the 53-man roster, Land will be out there rotating in. If Armstrong doesn't get traded or is not disgruntled, he's out there. So I like that as our stand-up outside linebacker room. And then you can get guys. It doesn't make it so that you have to get rid of guys like Nev, so on, because Nev as a 3-4 defensive end is better, I think, than just a plain 3-tech because he's not a pass rusher. He's not a run stuffer fully at 3-tech. But I think if you have him out there with two other down linemen and then two stand-up outside linebackers, it makes it so that you can't double Nev, and now Nev can work. You can't double Osa, so now Osa can work. When you put Mazi out there, sometimes Mazi's out there opposite side. Hankins, him and Hankins is out there on one side, and you got D-Law on the opposite side. Those three right there is going to destroy a front five for anybody. They're going to destroy that, because they're going to soak up double teams. And then that allows those four linebackers to move and get around and use their athleticism. So I like that look. I've been loving the 3-4 for a while, ever since the Marcus Ware days. So you could say maybe it's a little bit of bias on my part that I do want us to go 3-4. I won't lie about it. But I do think, honestly, we do have a team that's better suited for it at this point. Yes, Juan, 1100. He said, yo, bro, long time no see. Was at the Cowboys game Sunday. We need a strong O-line. I feel like the defense will grow and Mazi will be good by midseason. I'm glad you brought up Mazi, man, because I've been having to defend this guy, and I think it's just a Cowboy thing. They find somebody to try to zero in on every season and ignore others. But when you look at the defensive tackles from last year, the first round tackles last year, they only got 200 on average. They averaged 225 snaps in the season. That's only around 13 snaps a game. Do I think that Mazi will do well with 13 to 15 snaps a game? Hell yeah. Right now, it's getting more than that because they're trying to find where his ceiling is, where he can be and what he can do. In the first game, like I was just talking to Joseph Garza, one of my followers on IG, and he was like, yeah, Jalen Carter looks great. Mazi, man, I don't know. I said, are you serious? I did, and I'm not even really, like I said, y'all make me go at Jalen Carter by having to explain this, but Jalen Carter hasn't played many running snaps at all, and he's been getting pushed off the ball too. Now he's a pass rusher, so of course he gets up the field. He got up the field that one game when he got in for 2 snaps, but he's played a total of 10 snaps in 2 games. Mazi has played 10 snaps in more than 10 snaps in 1 game. In just the first game, he had 4 or 5 plays that he made himself by either pushing the pocket and having guys, and I showed this, so it's not like I'm like making it up. The goal line stands, he had 2 goal line stands where he pushed this guy right into the backfield, and then someone else made the tackle, but they had nowhere to go because of Mazi. Then he had about 3 plays that he actually made the tackle on after fighting through double teams. So I'm like, that's 5 plays that Mazi has made, 4 of which were in the backfield. A sack and a tackle for loss are the same thing. So if you cause a tackle for loss or you actually tackle someone for a loss, Even on that goal line stand, he took 2 guys out so that Overshawn could go and make that play. Shout out to Overshawn, 2 prayers going up. But in one game, Mazi made about 4 or 5 plays himself, and then other plays that he affected. In one game, just the first game. The second game, it was an up and down game. I won't lie on him. He had some plays where he got turned. But the film is there. Like, he's actually played 6 quarters. Jalen Carter has played 10 snaps. And they're like, Jalen Carter looks great. He looks like a superstar. You got to be kidding me, man. And he hasn't done shit. So to me, it's like they're looking for it, at this point. And I think it's partially me because I said what I said, and I still stand on what I said about Mazi versus Jalen. So a lot of people are looking at it for that reason too. I won't lie. I probably brought a lot of that on him myself. But at the same token, it's just like you're reaching with that. So I think Mazi will be good by midseason. I think Mazi's fine right now. They act like Mazi's getting, like I said, a la carte, pancaked and thrown all over the place. The kid was making plays in the first game. Second game, he was out there by himself against the first team, and they took advantage of him. The first team took advantage of a rookie. Big surprise, you know what I mean? A rookie that's out there with the second team at that. Big surprise. That's not a surprise to me. So I figured somebody was going to get him, and I'm rather you get him in preseason so that he can see it on tape. He can understand, like, hey, because a lot of guys, when they're using their strength or they're using their speed to get upfield, they get tricked because they don't realize, like, when you get no resistance, there's a reason that a guy's not blocking you. And on that play where Charbonnet went up the sideline, he didn't get blocked. The guy just moved out, the center moved out of his way and reach blocked him and just sealed him in. He didn't get blocked. And then one play he gets pushed out of there because he was trying to disengage. He needs to work on his hand fighting, and he needs to work on his explosion upfield. But I knew that. We all knew that coming into the season that he was going to be working on his pass rush ability and his explosion getting upfield. So where's the surprise? I don't get where the uproar is when it comes to him. But I think that, like I said, 3-4 will be not only good for him, but also good for the rest of this team. But I'm glad you brought him up because I've been having to defend this every day. And it's like, come on, man, y'all crazy. Dan McCoy, you going crazy with the lives now, bro. We love it. Lives are easier than the edits. The edits take forever. All I got to do for a live is show up and talk. So, if y'all don't mind me just talking and shooting the shit with y'all, I'll go live all the time. I don't always want to have to curate a thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just want to get out here and talk to the people. I can do that all the time. So, I got to just start doing that. You know what I mean? Because I don't like winging it, though, where I'm just getting on it. But the other day I was on, I was like, I actually had fun just sitting here talking to y'all. So, even though I'm usually talking to just words, text on the screen, I still like it. You said without Overshawn. Yeah, I think I already covered that. You got LVE, you got Clark, then you got Cox, and you got Harper. And then you also have Parsons that can flex inside as well when you want him to. Like if you wanted to get Fowler and Sam Williams on the field, think about this. Think about what an offense has to think about if you have this you're looking at. You got Hankins in front of you. You want to run the ball. You're already looking at it like, can't really run the ball. You got D-Law over to the right of you. Can't run over there. You got Olsen to the left of you. Okay, so you're starting threes like, damn. Then you got Sam Williams outside on your left, on your blind side. You got Fowler on your right side, outside of those guys. So all those dudes have to do is make sure they set the edge and contain, because D-Law and the other three are going to wreak havoc interiorly, right? If you're pulling and try to run games on the outside and pin guys and so on and pull, cool. But then you could take Parsons and put him in the middle of the field next to a Clark. What the fuck are you about to do with that? You can't really throw the ball either because Parsons can move, so can Clark. And the front five is the pass rush is there. And then you don't even know if Clark or Parsons are blitzing. And if Parsons is blitzing with those 5 guys in front of him, taking on blocks, Fowler, Sam Williams, Hankins taking on 2 people, Osa and D-Law, who can both pass rush. And then you got Parsons as an additional guy, not as a focal point. What the fuck is the offensive line doing with that? What are you doing with that? You know what I mean? And then you got corners that can sit on everything because you got guys on the outside now that can definitely man up one-on-one. You know what I mean? So it's like, to me, the 3-4 makes a lot of sense. And then even when you go your big nickel package, you got Parsons on the outside, you got Williams on the outside, then you have either D-Law and Hankins in there, or you have Osa and Hankins in there on the inside, right? And then you still have the same two stand-up linebackers in there, like LV and Clark. So that's still, your big nickel package still looks like that. And you're just bringing a safety into the box. You know what I mean? So to me, that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense to me. But I am crazy. I've been known to be, a wild card, right? Get these likes up. You're right, Sadiqa. Thank you, Sadiqa, doing your job. Law has been 5-tech DE for like 3 years. I don't know what took us so long to bring in nose tackles to make this happen. Thank you. To me, I think they've been discrediting Law because Law's been playing as a defensive end in a traditional 4-3, and you expect a defensive end to get a lot of sacks. You wouldn't expect as many sacks as a 3-4 defensive end. But Law playing in the same role as a J.J. Watt is crazy to me because I think that's more of what Law is. Law is more J.J. Watt than he is, Shaq Barrett. He's not a quick guy that's like doing a lot of pass rushing moves and shit like that. He's a guy that's like going to destroy the man in front of him. And then I haven't even mentioned the backup guys like Chauncey, who plays like that, Fihoko, who plays like that, who are very physical, strong-handed guys, are great with their hands, that can play the run very well. But when they get in that 3-tech position, they get double teamed by a center and a guard, and they start getting pushed out of there. You can't do that to them if they're in 3-4 because you have the nose tackle that soaks most of that up. And then if they choose to double team one side or the other guy is going to be, one of those guys are going to be singled up. And you can't even really afford to double team that much because you still got those stand-up outside linebackers that can crash inside too, or that can stunt inside. So it makes it so there's a lot more creativity you can do up front in our base formations. But it's all going to come down also to stopping the run. Like if we're in obvious run situations, I think we'll be in more of a 3-4 look, like whether it's goal line, short yardage, or early downs. And if we can keep them, behind the chains, you won't have to do it that much because then you'll go into your big nickel. If they're in third and longs or second and longs, you're in your big nickel formation, and you're not so much 3-4 at that point. But we could go 3-4 and stay 3-4 if it wasn't for the fact that we were so deep at corner. You wouldn't even need to go into your nickel package that often. We're deep at corner, deep at safety. So the Seattle Seahawks, when Dan Quinn was with them, is more of what we're probably going to get. A 3-3, 4-3, 3-4, a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? Because you got so much talent. I think we have more talent on this team than they had on that team. I'm serious when I say that. So because we're deeper. So, it's just a crazy thing to me. Even when you just brought up Land, Tyler Powell. Great that you brought him up. But you brought up Land, and I think Land is another guy who in a 3-4 would find his way on the field. 4-3, he's a little undersized as a 4-3 defensive end. And again, he's one of those guys that you would just run at. Even though he played the run great in preseason, but he's a guy that you would just run at him because he's small. Let's try to wear him out, Shaq Barrett style, you know what I mean? Or JJ Redick. He's one of those guys who's not very big, but he can pass rush. But if you put him in a 3-4 scheme, he's going to get there. He's going to find home a lot more. God bless you. Litty man. Lit white man. What's up, babe? Okay, hitting the Tay up and letting the Tay know, and then give her his information so she can transfer him over, and we can start clocking him for him. I'm live. I'll talk to you later. All right. My bad, people. Business calls. Let's see. What up, AKOYE and Cowboy fan? What's up, Day Walker Vaughn? Oh, you know about that blade. Yeah, them Day Walkers, man. Cox played good in Seattle. Cox played good in both games, Jacksonville and Seattle. Nobody pay attention to Cox, man. You know what's crazy? Overshawn's going to have the same problem because we're going to have a new toy by the time Overshawn gets healthy in 2025. There's going to be a new toy at linebacker or Cox. And I think Cox and Clark are going to solidify those positions, or maybe even Harper. But I really do believe it's going to be Cox and Clark out there as our starting middle linebackers come 24, 25. I don't think Cox is going anywhere because you're going to see a lot more Cox. Pause. You're going to see a lot more Brillo. You know what I'm saying? I can't keep saying this motherfucking name, but you're going to see a lot more of Brillo this season because last year I think they kind of redshirted him because just like Gallup, they both were kind of like just getting their way back in, you know, getting the cobwebs up. Davey 84, 3-4 or 4-3 base formation. So we'll only be in them for like, you know, 30 of the 30% of the time. Yeah, because you're not gonna play rundowns. They're gonna be running the ball all day. Hopefully, because if they're running the ball all day, you're losing. You know what I mean? Usually, or it's a close game. But in those tightly knit close games, though, I think 3-4 would benefit us a lot more than the 4-3. Once we're up, obviously you won't see 3-4 or 4-3 out there very much. You see big nickel primarily, and I think that's how we should stay. But in situations where we actually have to, and then you also have a lot of defensive backs too. So you see a lot of quarters defense too. 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and then 6 defensive backs. We'll do that a lot too. I like that. I like that. Because if you what's that? Quarters or dollar? I don't know. This dollar or quarters. One of them. It's one of them cents. You know what I'm saying? Dime, dollar. It's not a dime though. It's like quarters defense or some shit like that. But basically, if you have that going on too, because you got guys like Wanye who you want to get on the field, that'll allow you to bring Wanye in and put him on the field with Wilson, with Curse, with Hooker, and not have to worry about it. With all those guys. So yeah, I like that too. To be honest with you, I like that too. And you can still stop the run with that. Y'all hit that like button, peoples. Come on now, support the brother. It ain't like y'all giving money. It's a like button. Thank you, man. I don't understand it, man. People will watch me all crazy too, and then complain when I don't make film, right? And they be like, "Yo, why you ain't making film?" Because it take time to make film, and I get paid doing other shit that I have to do, like home healthcare agencies and shit like that. Trust me, the reason I'm going live so much now is because it takes long to edit, and I'm editing a Canelo versus Charlo video now, and that taking forever because it's just boxing. You got to watch every punch several times to kind of like edit that. That's fucking annoying. But the edits take long. So the reason I'm going live is because I got enough time now. Like, I'm fortunate and I'm grateful that I do make enough to sit here and do what I do without having to worry about depending on YouTube money to be able to give you YouTube content. But come on, people, let's go. Y'all gotta start acting like y'all like me or something, man. And if you don't like me, lie to me then. You know what I'm saying? Lie to me. Treat me good. You know what I mean? Treat me nice. Talk to me nice. Salute, Koy. Finally made a stream on lunch. Mock Mosley, what's up? Yeah, you missed the last one. I seen your comment. Oh man, Addie. I need some more pita bread. I'm gonna give you my new address, man. Yeah, he sent me some pita bread. I ain't gonna front though. I had the bubbly guts like crazy, but that's because I don't eat it like that. But it was good. I'll give you that. It was good as a motherfucker. I was like, Eddie gave me the motherfucker, the Duralax dough. You know what I'm saying? I was gone. I knew what you meant, Davey, already. C. Burleson, I'm all for it. Yes, 30% of the time. Alpha Mason made it. What's up, Alpha? Jay Jordan, people hate Cowboys worse than any team in the world. It ain't sad. It's actually a good thing. I'll tell you why. I was saying this to Just Convo. Shout out to Reef. He just did a podcast at my loft the other day for my fighter, and we were talking about it. Eagles fan. He was trying to grind me up, but we both understand Moneyball. And now that there's a lot of gambling, let me sit up because my chin is not even in the picture. But now there's a lot of gambling in the league due to the Vegas rights and the NFL rights. You don't want to be a team that's always the favorite. You don't want to be the favorite. You want to be the underdog. And it's like the Cowboys have been put in a position where we're like perpetual underdogs, even though we have a good team. You've never seen a team this good get talked about a disgrace as bad as they talk about as if they're bad, like the Cowboys. You never seen a quarterback as good as Dak Prescott get killed the way he gets killed. Like I've seen guys like Baker Mayfield don't get talked about at all. You know what I'm saying? You got guys like Jimmy Garoppolo don't get talked about at all. Not very much. Not hated on. He got big money, and nobody says shit. Kirk Cousins don't get talked about very much. These guys are like average quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Dolph don't get talked about very much. Matthew Stafford was average forever until he got to the Rams. Don't get talked about very much. He was talked about like he was great all the way up until he got to the Rams. So it's like the fact that we are perpetual underdogs is good from a Vegas standpoint, because if you look back at the Super Bowls, most of the teams that make the Super Bowl that get through the playoffs, that have the refs on their side the entire offseason, they win or they get there and they get the opportunity to win because they were underdogs. Like Mike McCarthy's wild card Green Bay Packers, they were underdogs in every game. So they made it to the Super Bowl and won because they were underdogs in every single game. So if you're underdogs in every game, Vegas ain't that mad at you and the refs are on your side. You don't believe me? Let's do it, because you know I don't never bullshit. Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow and those guys, when they made it to the Super Bowl, they were underdogs every game. Colin Kaepernick, bum ass, underdogs every game. You know what I'm saying? Every game. You know, and you can just keep going. And they were about to win the Super Bowl. They weren't even supposed to win. They turned fucking lights off on their ass. You can keep going though. Dan Quinn, who had the Falcons going wild, they was up 28-3. You know that was wrong. And Vegas was like, hell no, we can't have that. Underdogs though, the entire offseason, the entire playoff season. You know what I mean? So it goes that way. If the Cowboys could fuck around and keep this kind of hate on them, like, yes, hate us. Because you can keep that kind of hate on you where teams are still looking at you like you average when you're a 12-5, 2 times over team who got better. And they still looking at you like you are average or you're not the team to beat in the NFC East. That's some wild shit. And that's good. That's good for you, believe it or not. It's bad if you're a fan because you got to deal with all the bullshit. But it's good if you're a fan if you want to win. Because being that favorite or that front running team. Ask Peyton Manning early in his career, he was a front runner every year, 13-3, 12-4, 13-3, 12-4, and kept getting his ass busted in the playoffs because they were too good during the regular season. So they were that good where they wanted them to win. And Vegas was like, fuck that. You know, everybody, you the favorite, every divisional round, you the favorite, heavy favorite, and 70% of the nation is betting on you, you're gonna lose. Or the ref's gonna be on your ass. Even if it's gonna be a close game, you can win it, but you better be able to do it. Like you got to be so masterful to win a game when the refs are against you. Andre Iguodala and I think Evan Thomas were talking about this as well in basketball. They were like, yo, if you want to close out, you want to play a closeout game, game 7, you got to play your fucking ass off in that game because you got to win by 15 just to win by 1. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it is for the Cowboys. Like, you got to bust ass in the playoffs if you're the favorite. I don't want us to be the favorites. I want us to be the underdogs that they saying we are. Just make it to the offseason. Let us be the underdog that they keep screaming we are. Let us be the average team that they keep lying that we are. And I'm good with that. This is not the Jason Garrett Cowboys. Nobody can tell me that. I say it and I say it again. Last year, you couldn't tell me you thought we was making the playoffs. If I put it on paper, if I said it this year, Tyron Smith hurt before the season. Tyler Smith's going to play 2 positions. Terrence still going to get hurt. Anthony Brown going to get hurt, and it's going to be a rotation at left corner. I mean, at CB1 or CB2, whatever you want to call him. He lined up at CB1, but he's a CB2. But it's going to be a rotation there. You're going to have Kurtz get hurt. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of bullshit going on with injuries on your offensive line. And then Dak's going to get hurt the first game of the season. Cooper Rush going to have to play 5 games, and we hope that he goes. We was hoping that Cooper Rush would go 2-4, 3-3, some shit like that. Cooper Rush went what, 5-1, 4-1, some shit like that. So you couldn't tell me you thought we was going to do that. So we are clearly a different team with a different mentality. Even the viciousness in this team, the whole defense is crazy. All of them crazy. All of them is fucking crazy. All of them. All of them. Even LV started acting up in the playoffs. All of them crazy. All of them will knock you the fuck out, you know, depending on the situation, or they got crazy ball skills. I won't say that Diggs will always crack you because he will whiff on some tackles, but he will hit you every once in a blue if he's pissed off enough and it's a wide receiver in front of him. You know what I mean? Not a running back or a tight end. He ain't hitting them. But he will hit you depending on who you are. But his ball skills are ridiculous. You don't want to throw the ball over there. Now we got Gilmore. So let them keep hating, bro. Don't even worry about it. I know I went on a little tangent there, but I like it. Like, don't think that that's a sad thing. That's a great thing for you. Yep, it seems like Cowboys fans have a player they pick on every season. Yeah, they focused on Mazi this season. That's a good thing. Sorry I took so long to get to you. Django's Echoes. Django's Echoes. Can we see the record straight on can we set the record straight on Jabril Cox? He's still good. Losing Demo hurts, but it's not the end of the world. Much love to you, brother. Yeah. Losing Demo definitely hurts. But Jabril Cox never got an opportunity to be bad. Like, when did he play for you to say he's bad? They just say he's bad because he got hurt. They forget. Like, so to me, he's in a rookie year to me. He's just continuing his rookie year. So to me, Jabril Cox is a rookie. He's a rookie with experience, which is a good thing. Meaning when he gets in there, he knows what the fuck he's doing. He's been around a while, but he hasn't gotten to play. So he's been a red shirt player for 2-3 years. Good. 2 years? 3 years? 2 years. 2 years. I think he came in with Parsons, right? Yeah. So 2 years. 2 years he's been redshirted. First year he flashed. He knocked out Daniel Jones. I liked it. He can run. He's still showing he's fast as fuck. People forget that he can flat out cover. That's his strength. And he hasn't even been put in position to do that yet. So if you got Jabril Cox out there and you got Damone Clark out there at any given time, both those guys can fucking move. They got wheels. They can tackle. They played together at LSU. They got continuity, good communication, good relationship. And they both have now gotten full off seasons in, and they know what's going on because they've been around the locker room. They've been around this team for 2 years to 3 years. So it's like, man, if you think Jabril Cox just forgot how to play football because he tore his ACL, then say the same thing about Overshawn. Overshawn going to forget how to play football in 2 years. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen. No, he's gonna be nice. Jordan Lewis just forgot how to play ball because he fucked his leg up. No, he's gonna come in playing good too. Like, we're deep. When Jordan Lewis gets back on the field, you're 5 deep at corner with guys that you don't mind starting. And to be honest with you, I don't even mind starting a Boss Man Fat or a Nashawn Wright. I just know that they would need help. But if that was our team coming into the season, I still wouldn't be like, we trash. And those guys are CB 6, 7, and 8. If you look at Scott Jr., Wright, and Bossman, they're behind Izzy McQuamu, Jordan Lewis, Bland, Gilmore, and Diggs. That's your 5 right there. So the other guys are like, we're 8 deep. And if you want to say, Miles Brooks, who I think is going to be fine too, he's gonna get redshirted though if he does make if he stays on the team, he's gonna get a practice squad. But if you look at that, like, we 9 deep at corner. Like, that's ridiculous, man. It's crazy. Crazy. AKOYE dropped the film on him. I mean, how many times you want me to keep hitting the film on Mazi? Like, I don't need to hit no more film on him, man. I think I dropped enough film first game. Like, the fact that people were hitting me up like, did you see Jalen Carter? I said, wow, this is quiet. Are you serious? They're like, you seen Jalen Carter get a pressure? I'm like, Mazi got some pressures. He just did it with a man. Pause. But he pushed a man into the pocket twice. First game. And then last game he did it too. Nobody said it. He forced some incomplete passes too. You're not gonna say nothing about that. It just don't look pretty. He ain't making no move. He do need to work on his moves, but he doing it though. And he made a lot of tackles. So I'm like, why? He got more tackles in one game than I think he had more effective plays in one game than Jalen Carter had snaps in 2, I think. You know what I mean? So I'm like, how is this an argument? And I'm not even comparing him just to Jalen Carter. Look, I mean, where is Kalijah Cansey? Where are these other defensive tackles at? That's like showing that like they just destroying shit. You're not destroying a seasoned offensive line your first year, because you don't know what you're doing yet. You don't even know how they want to attack you. They've seen strong guys before. Look at Jordan Davis last year. Where's he? Why is Jordan Davis not a bust? Because he's not a fucking bust. He's not. I love Jordan Davis as a player, right? So why is he not a bust? What is he doing? What is he doing that's so crazy? Nothing at all. But he's developing. So but Mazi's further along than they are. because he's already playing. He's played 3 quarters in 2 different games. He played into the 4th quarter. So he's played like 7 quarters so far in the preseason. It shows that they don't think he's going to start. They're trying to get him ready for the season and conditioned for the season while they rest Hankins, so that when he does spell Hankins or play alongside him, he's ready to go. He's ready to go. Y'all crazy when you say this Mazi shit, man. I don't got to defend that. He said Lord Brunson hypes that Jalen Carter up so much. Lord Brunson, he doing his job. He hyped his team up, but I mean, he can't show highlights because it ain't nothing. Where the highlights? Where the sacks at? If he was like fucking people, trust me. If he came in and he had 2 sacks so far. Like Land is an undrafted rookie playing better than Nolan Smith right now. He looked better than Nolan Smith. If I call Nolan Smith a bum, Land looked better than Nolan Smith right now, today. He affected the game far more than Nolan Smith. Is Nolan Smith a bum because of that? No. They just develop it. Let them develop. That's fucking crazy. That's not. I'm not even going to do it to Nolan Smith because he's on the Eagles. Why would I do that? Don't make sense. Don't make sense. Mazi going to get better game by game, learning from playing time outside coaches. Yes, he is. The running quarterback's been getting D-Law. Exactly why he should be playing 3-4 defensive end. Because then if he crashes the B gap and those running quarterback and they break his angle and break contain, don't matter. He got 2 outside linebackers that's playing contain outside that. So he can go as aggressive as he wants. He can kill in there. And you can't block him one-on-one, and you will have to, because he's shading right off of the hip of a Hankins. Or he's stunting. He can stunt from the 3-4 defensive end position. Are you crazy? Are you kidding me? I would love it. They need to do it. They need to do it. Dan Quinn tripping with that one. He need to do it, man. Jalen Carter ain't shit, man. I seen guys bulldoze his ass, knock him off, knock him stomp, etc. So y'all miss me with the BS about Jalen Carter. He ain't did nothing, so he don't deserve nothing in my dollar bills, boy. He ain't did nothing, he don't deserve nothing. I'm gonna show you what I mean. I'm glad you said this. Watch this. I'll be right back. Just bear with me for a second. Shout out to the Football Scout for this footage, right? Watch this. All right, let me get back to StreamYard so I can. I'm watching this. Maybe I missed something, so I watched this film. I said, all right. Share screen. Boom. All right, and I'm going to share. Boom. This one. All right, here we go. Let me see if y'all can see this first. Make sure y'all can see. All right, y'all can see it. All right, check this out. So I'm just going
to analyze all 7 snaps as well as his 2 snaps against.
He didn't play bad.
To the inside left hand to the shoulder, and he's going to just extend out and control. And you see him do a really nice job.
The running back
controlling
right
this guard and even pushing him back a yard or so.
Mazi
to me, this is a really nice shot. Now, he doesn't get off the block. And I think that's the big part of it within this play. The play pops for 3 yards. And to me, one of the improvements I want to see from Carter is to take that next step, is to get off the block.
He's going to learn to reach.
You do a great job making contact. You're very low, and I think that's very impressive.
And getting in there.
To me, how low Carter is here is freaking incredible. Just look at Jalen Carter out of his stance when he makes contact.
Mazi did literally
compared to Jordan Davis right next to him. He is much lower. He didn't get tackled by the again, the thing I need to see him improve on and just to be critical is to get off the block just a second quicker to turn around and make the play.
Superstar, great.
That they wouldn't have put those. That 52 comes off the side here. I mean, to me, you got to put these guys in one-on-one situations when a guy is blitzing. But you're gonna see as this play continues, you're basically gonna get 3 guys here on the 2 defensive tackles. And Cunningham goes free.
What is he doing?
To me, that's a really, really interesting route that they wouldn't have put those guys in single blocks. Instead, you're going to basically use 3 guys to block 2.
Nothing.
And you may have to get used to this.
You're not doing
Jordan Davis is very, very
doing the same thing Mazi. like on that type of
he basically goes untouched. Just an interesting. Carter does get off the block.
And then on this one, I like this. Like
Jalen Carter wins this rep. Now, obviously, it doesn't translate to a sack
anywhere,
or a quarterback hit. Let's be honest, the quarterback's going to kind of get out of there because you do bring 5 guys, right? And I think the pocket collapses super quickly around the quarterback. And the quarterback's going to kind of come over towards the left, and he's going to throw the ball. Now, there was a holding penalty as well called on this play.
I can keep going.
But I do think initially they speed move towards the outside, and Dwan Jones isn't able to this play out. This play was trending a little bit on Twitter where various reasons. But to me, Jalen Carter is a special football player. And I think it's very clear just based off of some of the
if that
this one as well.
This dude, like, he's special. He said this play
special football player, right? And I think it's very clear just based off of some
of
the clips. This one as well. Right, if you guys actually understand scheme, and I'm going to try to explain it to you guys, you guys would see what Jalen Carter does here, and this is a special play in itself. First and foremost, the defensive line.
But then I'll go back to this, right, and I'll show one game. Watch this. I'll show one game. Where is it? Boom. So I showed in one game several plays affected where you can clearly see
recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local recordings are now available.
But I'm like, this is crazy. I don't see none of this coming from Jalen Carter.
Thank you.
I don't see it.
Now,
this was a good play.
I work for likes and subs, that's why. But anyway, let's run it.
I don't need to listen to all this. I saw it before I made it.
Ozzy cut that off.
But boom, he cuts this off
Williams
and ran this into his you know what I mean? His this one help.
Mazi's gonna be
this play.
Double team.
He's gonna make a tackle through double team. They're like, this is trash. How is this trash?
Mazi's
making a play right there.
It's one thing to get double team to make
this is trash, and he's a concern.
I believe even Harper. They all had a great game.
He's a concern. Here he goes working through another double team.
Harper.
And
they all had a great game.
Here he is right here.
Throughout the game because of the interior line play.
Gets through the double team.
But number 2,
makes
when
the tackle
for a loss and still, like you see here, get into the ball carrier. That's A plus.
Here he is.
To me,
here he is on
the
goal line
in 3 tech. See, right now
he's
not in 1 tech.
Take this guy and knock his man right into this guy. Boom. That's clearly Mazi's tackle.
When he's dealing with one-on-one,
even though he didn't finish the play,
you're not blocking him.
That's Mazi's play.
That's a Mazi tackle. Although somebody else actually brings the running back to the ground.
This is trash.
Mazi is the one that stopped.
So I'm already at 3 tackles so far for Mazi.
This is Bohanna who gets credit.
3 tackles in the backfield at that.
And Mazi taking out 4 blocks are successful. Because if you don't have to block anybody as a linebacker,
getting through double team,
you can really react.
Getting through a double team, fighting through a double team.
Mazi and Bohanna
fighting through a double team and clogging his gap.
Mazi's doing it here with a
he gets pinned inside by that double team. He's going to recover right here, reach over, boom. He's back in his gap.
That's good play.
That's back in his gap.
That's good play. Mazi's doing what
now he didn't make the tackle,
clogging things
up. Back in his gap. Now show
linebackers and safeties.
Let's show you what Malik Jackson is, or whatever his name is, number 46, is able to do on this play.
Because of Mazi.
Watch number 46. He jumped all the way in the wrong gap and still made a tackle for a loss. Watch 46 on this play.
Supposed to do, which is clogging things up so that
46 is going to make this play because
that's good play.
Mazi recovered and
doing what he's supposed to do, which is
so now 46
things
he
up.
jumps.
So
now watch the
safeties.
He jumps all the way in the wrong gap. He's all the way over there.
That's
and still makes a tackle in the backfield
because
of what Mazi
goal line stands because
pass rush
doing this thing in the middle of the field.
He takes his man
once again, boom,
and he shoves him right into the backfield. But 46 is going to knock this left tackle into the back of his legs. This is a pressure for Mazi. Boom.
He gets even more
the
pressure.
The ball now has to get thrown behind because of
Mazi forcing Bethard to throw the ball behind.
Mazi look like trash.
He's going to get double teamed in this.
He's going to do it again through a double team this time.
Both linemen into the quarterback's
This is trash.
Causing him to put an arch on this pass, both him and
that was more so
Johnson.
That was more so Johnson getting in there than Mazi.
This is him just getting rid of his guy once
again. This is him getting rid of a guy. Another tackle for 1 yard, tackle for loss.
They show this.
They show him getting triple. I don't even see none of this from Jalen Carter. I haven't seen one clip like that, like any of those from a Jalen Carter. So I don't got to say nothing else, man. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? Y'all tell me. You know what I'm saying? And it's not hate. I'm just saying, like, where do you see all this great play from Jalen Carter? I don't see it yet. It hasn't happened yet. You know what I'm saying? So, man. It's fucking crazy. He said AKOYE don't like staying cocked. He'll say Brillo. Oh, let me see what I was just saying about Land. Somebody said something about Land. Land is currently tied for third among all edges, second among rookie edges in total pressures thus far with 8, tied with 6 in pass rush win rate, 24%, and 34 pressure rate, ranked second. Exactly. That boy a beastin'. Why he ain't talked about like he's the guy? If he was a first round draft pick and he was doing that, it would be sounding crazy. He's an undrafted rookie doing that. And nobody is like talking like that's amazing. That's fucking amazing. That's amazing. See what y'all saying. And they said, let's be honest too. Cox better than Demo. Motherfuckers really acting like Demo is like the superstar player. He has that potential, and I think he'll get better. But let's be honest, he was still raw. Yeah, a lot of those young guys will get beat because of their speed. Like he was gonna get tricked on play actions and misdirections because he's so fast to the ball. They were gonna mess with him. They were gonna run some games with him. AKOYE brother Jay Bryant. You made my day with this. which part? Either the live or what I'm saying in the live. He still overshoots gap, loses coverage, and still needs to get better in position. You talking about overshot. Yep, facts. AKOYE, you know football. That's the difference. You've played, coached, and studied football. People criticizing Mazi may not be defensive guys or they may not know football. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like, are y'all sick of your head, man? Oh shit! I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't know the audio was overlapping. Damn, my bad, people. I didn't know that. I didn't know y'all can hear more. But anyway, you know what's up though. But I didn't know y'all can hear that shit. My bad. Yep, my bad. So to go back and talk about that, I mean, I'll talk about it. Y'all saw it, but you can see clearly Mazi affecting. Like I said, I counted 6 or 7 plays in that first game, and I haven't counted any that Jalen has affected other than that first snap against was the Browns or no against the Ravens, I think, or vice versa. Yeah, first snap that was good, but that was it. But they like he's a superstar, and I'm like I'm scratching my head like, well, if he's a superstar, and I still got to say Mazi's a superstar, and if that gets you superstar status, Mazi's done more than that already. And playing more snap. What's good, brother Tariq? He said, great to see you back breaking down film, bro. That's so motive B. Yes, sir. You already know I ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. Travel light. Where do you think the Cowboys could improve most or which unit? I think we have complete team top down. First time catching a live. Much love to what you do. Build the bank. I love your name. Much love to you too, good brother. Let's build up this channel so that we can build this bank too, you know what I mean? Because I can't wait till I'm able to do this full time so I can just sit here. My day is kind of like that now. So I still get phone calls, and I probably will always get those because I'm never going to be a one businessman. But I can't wait till I can do this a little more myself. But to answer your question, man, where do I feel we can improve? I think where will we improve for sure will be there's 2 positions that are question marks. 3. They're not question marks because of talent. They're question marks because we don't know how they're going to shape out. That's tight end, running back, and linebacker. So those are the 3 places of focus for me in the preseason. And also, there's one position that needs to have a solidified guy stand up, and that's pass rusher, true pass rusher, opposite Parsons. I think D-Law is a pass rusher when he wants to be, when he's healthy. But D-Law is a guy that I think gives us more and run support, which is fine with me. Like I said before, I'm not bullshit when I say this. I was on D-Law ass until I looked at how much he gets tackles for losses and how much he affects the run. A tackle for loss is a sack. Keep remembering that. There is nothing different between a sack and a tackle for loss other than who you tackle. Even if you tackle the quarterback on a running play where he's set to be running, it's still a tackle for loss. It's not even a sack. It's only a sack when he's set back to pass. So, and if a running back goes to pass and you tackle him, that's a sack. A wide receiver goes back there to pass on the reverse, that's a sack. So a sack and a tackle for loss are the same shit. It's just who you tackle that changes it and what they're doing when you tackle them. But the same result as far as the effect on the offense is the same. So D-Law, I got off of him when I started paying attention to it that way. Shout out to Skywalker still. He our debate kind of pointed that out because I was looking at D-Law getting paid so much. Like, why they paying him so much? He ain't getting no sacks. Because it's tackles for loss. Yeah. So to me, that's the same. So when you look at him that way, I think a guy like Fowler, Stan Williams, or Land, they're going to have to step up and give us what I think we're going to lose with Armstrong, because I don't think Armstrong's going to play. I don't even hear anything about Armstrong. I think he's disgruntled. Coach Marv said the same. So I think you'll see improvement there. But linebacker is a young room that they need to improve. And if they do improve, you'll see LV take a lesser role. So that'll let you know that they are improving. At tight end, you got a tight end by committee right now. But if one of those guys just step up to be that world beater, Kelsey type guy, then those other guys will be role players. You know what I mean? And at running back, you got TP, who has been a role player, and you got Deuce Vaughn, who's slated to be a gadget guy. And then you have other guys behind those. You don't know what they're going to do. So those are the positions that I think you're going to see improvement in. You know what I mean? Shout out to Jay Recruiter. Demo got a bunch of hype because he's from Texas and went to University of Texas. Not saying he's not good. Yeah. He got hyped up, and he's good though. I like him. But like I said, I think if you ask me, is Jabril better at this stage in his career? Wisdom-wise, Jabril definitely is, and coverage-wise, Jabril definitely is. But like I said, I think eventually those are going to be our three anyway. 2 years from now, you're going to see. I don't think we draft another linebacker, middle linebacker, high again for another 4 or 5 years, unless these guys really don't pan out for some reason, whether it be injury, they get cut, or they leave the team. But if Jabrillo's here, Clark is here, and Overshawn is here, I don't think we draft another linebacker for quite some time. Because we got one. What about left tackle? I don't think you're going to see a lot of improvement at left tackle because I think Tyron Smith, knock on wood, will be the left tackle for some time. It's the difference when you're firing off the ball versus when you're getting hit. I know y'all don't want to believe that, but when you look at Tyron Smith's injuries, a lot of them came when he's getting stood up and it's a guy getting thrown into the back of his legs. Connor Williams was number one for that. Get thrown into the back of his leg. When you look at the injuries from Connor McGovern last year, it was because Tyler Smith took a guy and dove into the back of his legs, you know what I mean, with him. So when you see less pancakes and you see guys firing off the ball and wearing run sets, you'll see defensive tackles that are lined up against us and defensive ends lined up against us getting hurt more than you'll see us getting hurt because we're actually doing the hitting. And then on those play action plays where we're passing, those linemen aren't getting hit because the defensive front has to rerun first, so they can't even fire off the ball the way they used to. And then they're tired in the fourth quarter, so it's less of them hitting you. You're spending less of the 60 snaps that you're on the field getting hit, and more hitting is important. And I think that's what you're going to see. Jabril Cox has pressure to perform, solidify our defensive depth. The Overshawn injury has made me feel uneasy about the group as a whole. Now, how do you feel uneasy about that group when, to be honest, you got a good log jam or a good placeholder with LVE? I won't lie and say he's not. He knows where to be. So his wisdom alone is a placeholder for middle linebacker. You got Parsons, who will play some middle. Then you have Clark, who's looking great. How would that make you look, funny? When Clark's looked great, and all the linebackers have looked good because the front four has looked good. It's funny that all the linebackers have looked good in preseason, right? All of them. Harper, all of them have looked good, right? But you still be like, Mazi trash. Why do you think all of them look good? He's been playing 3 quarters of those games, and they've looked good the entire game. Clark has been free to roam sideline to sideline. Cox has been roaming sideline to sideline. Harper's been filling gaps and shooting the gaps and then getting in the backfield and stopping plays, stopping the ball. You know, Overshawn was doing the same thing. Bell is doing good. Bell had 10 tackles the first game. So why do you think those guys are free to flow to the ball? Even Jackson was flowing to the ball. Why do you think those guys are flowing to the ball? They're going to look good because the front five is going to look good. The front 4 or 5 is going to look good. It's going to make those guys look good. So I'm not worried about young linebackers. You're worried about them shedding blocks and reading plays. Even when you read the play wrong, if the line can't get to the second level and get a body on you or get in your way, you can recover from that. I showed that already. You know what I'm saying? I showed that already with this play right here. I'm gonna share the screen one more time because y'all said the sound was on. So let's share the screen and look at this again. Let me put it on mute. Where's the goal line front? Boom, right here. Look at this play. Is this it? Yeah, this is it right here. Watch. Is it this play? No, it's not this one. It's the next one. Or maybe it's the first one. It is this one here. All right, so watch this play. Watch Jackson on this play. Watch number 46 right here. Watch it. So he's going to read wrong. He's going to jump in this gap right here. You see that? He jumped in the wrong gap. The running back got him out of position. But this guy's on the ground because of Bohanna, and these guys never get to the second level because of Smith. So neither one of these guys get a hand on a linebacker. So now Jackson, who's over here off screen, is going to go all the way out of position and then get back into position to make this tackle. And he would have never did that. He would have never got an opportunity to do that had any of those 4 linemen got to the second level, which they didn't do. You know what I mean? Because he was there. So when I see that, I'm happy. And when you look at plays like this one here, none of these linebackers, look at all the linebackers. None of them are touched. The ball is in hand. They still are not touched. Why? Because you got, who's this? Bohanna. Oh, no, that's Nev with a double team. And that's Smith with getting through a double team. None of them got off of the ball. None of those linemen, the linemen want to get off the ball and get to the second level. And I'll show you what we were struggling with before, since you guys want to see it. I'll show you if I can find that video quickly. But look at this. See what I'm saying? None of these guys are touched. They're free to flow to the ball if they want to. They're just standing behind the line. This is how you want to play linebacker if you're young, because you're not going to get blocked. If you're not getting blocked and nobody's getting a hat on you, of course you're going to make these plays. Of course you're going to make these plays. Let me see here. That was a pass play. But I want to show you, I don't know if I could get back that far. It was the Rams versus it was when Jalen was here. They were getting off, the Rams were getting off the ball in that playoff game. That was a long time ago. I don't have to look back through all that. Let me see. AKOYE Media 2018. What is 2018? Let's see. It was a Rams game in 2018. Let's see. Yeah, look, I look different. Here it is. Or is this the prep game? Hey, this is the prep for that game. I need to see the actual game. I broke down like how they were beating us in the run versus the run. Like it was a lot of plays where, let me show you. Boom, boom. I like going into these archives a little bit. But before I do that, let me make sure y'all okay. Hear me okay? Y'all hear me all right? Let me see. AKOYE Media, what do you think of the line depth? As Richards, Taylor, Prelude looked like they could be worth keeping. Hoffman didn't look like an NFL player until he played center. True. I'll get to that in a second. Let me finish this. I just wanted to make sure y'all can hear me. Yep. Got it. All right. So we could just pick any random play if you want. Like, watch this. Let's just watch what they're doing to these guys in the middle of the field. Let's see what happens. Boom. This wasn't a run in the middle of the field, so it don't count. Here we go. Let me see. I don't even know what's going to happen here because I haven't seen it, but I can guarantee you're going to see a lot of bodies on linebackers early. Right here, you see it. Look at Jalen having to fight through. They're like, Jalen trash. Jalen got to fight through a lineman like he's a defensive tackle. So is the LVE on this play. That's horrible. It's horrible. Why do you think they're getting ran through? Because you go and bring the linebacker straight to him unless he's blitzing. These are pass plays, though. I wanted to see the run plays. That was just a good run play. Bias. Let me see. It might have been the Vikings game. It was the Vikings. That's what it was. It was the Vikings game. Let me see. I got a shot of memory when it comes to that. Let me see. Vikings versus the run. It was a couple years ago versus the Vikings. Boom. Where is it? Here we got it. What we got? Yeah, I don't know if I can find that one. But I remember it. I just don't know where it is or what the name of it was. But we were getting pushed off the ball, something crazy. Yeah, whatever. But you guys get the point. Let me get off here. You guys get the point. Jalen better linebacker than LVE. He was and still is. Yes, true. Dan, you remember? He said 2019, AKOYE, November 2019. This motherfucker went straight to it. Yo, your memory crazy. Hold on. He went straight to it. Hold on a second. All right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go on my page and do it this way. Let me see. I do it this way. I know I can find it this way. If I go to content and just scroll through. Go through a few pages of that. Boom. This is 2021. Oh, almost there. I'm still in 2021 though. Let's see. I'm close to it. Yeah, I think I passed it still. I don't know where this shit is at, man. I got a lot of content. I gotta clean it up. I need to put this stuff in like playlists and stuff so I can see where this shit is quickly. Let's take tomorrow. All right. Oh well. Y'all lose. All right. Anyway, what are you guys talking about here? Hold on a second. He said Cook ran all over us. AKOYE, you need to find your way on Real Media News getting that real cheddar. Yeah, help me get there. You know what I'm saying? Although I want to make money doing it this way though. I want to make money doing it where I still got creative control. Like I don't want to make money for a network. I don't want to become Pat McAfee. Although I wouldn't mind the check. I think I would have to shut up a little bit because all eyes will be on you. You know, I don't want the attention of the Illuminati. I like to be able to say the crazy, wild shit that I say and not have to worry about, you know what I mean, worrying about what I say and what's going to come back at me. I don't like that. I like that I'm a human. I'm just a regular human. I can say what I want. I'm flawed. I can say what I want. If I'm like on that level, you have to be like Shannon Sharp can't say what I say. You know what I'm saying? Neither can Stephen A. Smith. Even if they want to, even if they believe it, can't say it. Can't say what I say. Jalen go misdirection constantly, and I don't think he understood his assignment for a minute. I think he's got his football mind right now, and I'm glad he's found himself in NY. Yeah, he's found himself in NY due to the fact that I think it's just simplified. We were asking a lot of a guy with one leg with no defensive tackles in front of him to soak up blocks. Remember when we used to be hyped about Antoine Woods? That's what I was trying to show you. I was trying to show a play where show the games where Antoine Woods was like holding his own in the middle of the field. Might have been a Browns game. I keep forgetting. But Antoine Woods was getting chopped. So was we had Tristan Hill and Antoine Woods in the middle of the field, and that was like our front. Those guys are guys that wouldn't make this team right now. They wouldn't make this team. Or if they would make it, they'd be at the bottom of that depth chart. So that's what we were dealing with. I was hollering to trade DA past 2 seasons. It ain't gonna happen. He's gonna sign he's gonna sign away and we'll get a 4th round comp for a comp pick. Yeah, I hope so. Go ahead, get away from here. I don't want to be if you don't want to be here. You said he on the Saints now? Jalen on the Saints. Good for you, Jalen. I hope you start. Jalen, all right. Like he played like last year. I was watching him in the Giants games. He looked pretty good. When they had him in their obvious running situations, Jalen looked fine. Especially because the Giants had guys in front of him to keep him clean. That's all Jalen needed was that not having to shed a 330-pound guy every single play. He's fine. You know what I mean? And to me, he can hit. So, you know, Jalen was fine. I think he still is. He's not the greatest linebacker in the game, but he's good. If you look at his stats, let's look at him. Huh? Since I'm about to wrap up anyway, let's look at Jalen Smith stats. Jalen Smith stats last year. Let's see. What did he do last year? I don't even know what he did. I'm gonna share the screen on this one. Let's share the screen. Let's see what he did. Why not find out? Where's tackles for losses? He got tackles for losses as a stat. Tackles for losses is not a stat. His combined tackles, he had 88 total tackles. Good. Solo, I don't see where the solo tackles are. Let me get out of this one. Go to his regular stats. Advanced stats are only good for corners. All right, he only had 3 tackles for losses, 2 quarterback hits, 1 forced fumble, 1 sack, 46 solo tackles, and 88 total tackles. Did pretty good last year. And spot work too. He didn't start. And he didn't play a full season either. Played 13 games. That's pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. I ain't mad at you, brother. So yeah, he over there with the Saints. Hopefully he plays well. But shout out to him and shout out to the rest of y'all too, man. Like I said, I'm sitting here shooting the shit at this point. I ain't really talking about that at this point, so I'm about to wrap up. Wait, DA is DA as in Armstrong. What happened? Dorrance, he feels like he's underpaid for 8 sack defensive end, and if he feels like he's underpaid for 8 sack defensive end, he's disgruntled because of that. That's what I'm hearing anyway, and it seems like because we haven't heard anything about him. I haven't seen him. I get my cucumber watering. Haven't seen him though. So I think that it's probably true that he's pissed off and that he's probably gone. So if he going, he going. I don't care. Any linebacker that's unprotected can look lost and hesitant. Yeah, because they got to deal with a freight train running at them over and over again. With LV on the team, he still stood out. With all the credit they give LV about giving him better players, why not him? You know why not him, man. Stop it. Anyway, LV is their guy. And half the season almost caught LV in stats. What did LV do in stats? I didn't even check LV. Let's see. Leighton. Ender. What did he do? Oh shit, he did catch him in stats. I didn't even peep that. Okay. God, all that shit. Yeah, LV had 2 more tackles, 1 more tackle for loss. But he had 3 games too that he didn't play. LV played 14 games. He played 1 extra game than Jalen. Jalen played 13 games. He played 14. But yeah, same amount of sacks, pretty much the same stats altogether. 1 QB hit, 1 pass deflected, and 1 fumble recovery instead of a forced fumble for LV. But they literally had the same year, which is crazy. That's a little weird. But yeah, LV started too. Jalen wasn't starting in those games either. LV was starting. Jalen was coming in spot work. But yeah, that's crazy. He said that's crazy. He just got paid. He shouldn't. He should have said this then, not now. Well, then when he got paid, I don't think he was an 8 sack guy. But he is. He's like you could probably say he underpaid for a defensive end. But you got to also realize why. A lot of players let their agents fuck them up because your agent want to get paid. You don't realize your agent only get paid if you get paid. So your agent want to get paid now. They're trying to get paid immediately. So your agent will gas you by looking at the stats. But it's a lot of nuance that goes into it outside the stats. So when an agent hypes this guy up to complain for money, and when you look at just by looking at the stat line alone, not taking into account that this guy is on this team and that's why he's in position like this, then they're setting him up for failure. He might get more money, but he's killing his career because you want to dance with the chick who brung you. You want to stay with the coach who knows you. You know what I'm saying? You want to stay with the quarterback who knows you. If you Cedric Wilson, remember he left? Well, you see Dalton Schultz leaving for money. These guys get their agents hype them up, and they don't realize why they're even in position to make the money in the first place. It's because of where you're standing and the team and the scheme that's built around you. You don't want to go to another team, bro. You don't want another coach because they don't know you. They ain't draft you. They're not even heavily invested in you. The GM is, but that's it. That's it. The coach is like, you just another guy. But when you've been around, we drafted you, we watched you get better. They want you to play. They want you to do well. They're invested in you. That's where you stay. Because if you could think about this. Would you rather have a career like, a guy who makes a lump sum of money but gets put out the league? I don't know. You can name whoever you want. Or a career like a Tyrone Crawford, who was playing forever with good money, not great money. Or Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown, good money for a long ass time. Jordan Lewis, he's gonna be around a while. Why? Because they want him here. They like it how he plays, and he ain't costing you no major money. They want you here. When you complain for the bread or you leave for the bread, you're gonna be a problem. Look at Odell Beckham, one of the best wide receivers in the league, but his agents or him, whoever, gassed his ass up. Start doing too much. You know what I'm saying? You stay where you at and get your long money. You know what I'm saying? Jonathan Taylor, another. Well, the only people that I don't say that about is running backs. Because running backs, you better get what you can get when you can get it as a running back. Because if you don't, you won't. Running backs is it. They can complain, but that's because they are undervalued. So when they actually are, it still don't work for them though. Le'Veon Bell got paid, but where Le'Veon Bell at? Le'Veon Bell got paid, went to the Jets, and disappeared. That's it. Done. Over. You know what I'm saying? because you're gonna get paid. And now they're expecting you to get all this money, but you also want to protect the guy that you're paying that much because you want to protect your investment, but you can't protect the running back. That's a smash mouth running back. So it's a zero-sum game for them. They need to come up with a different way to pay running backs, like give them less money but more guaranteed money. You know what I'm saying? Give them guaranteed money and set it where a running back is going to get their money faster. It's going to be guaranteed, and they get less of it, but it's so to a point where it behooves you to keep them around a while. Like give them $7 million a year guaranteed on average. That's what they get, but they guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? I think running backs should have guaranteed money. They should be the only position with guaranteed money. And if they get guaranteed money, it don't matter what they make. You know what I'm saying? If you give a running back $5 million, $7 million a year, but they know if they play here for 5 years, 6 years, they're gonna be cool. You know what I mean? That's cool for a running back. You know what I mean? That's cool for a running back. Then they'll stop trying to leave teams so much. What do I think of Jonathan Taylor here, though? Could he help? Yeah. But I don't think we need him. But he could help a lot. But he would actually confuse this running back room. I would be mad if I was Rico Dowdle or Malik Davis, because those guys can run the ball. Dowdle can run. He could be a starter here anywhere. But, he could be a starter anywhere. But if you brought Jonathan Taylor in here, it would hurt him. You know what I'm saying? It would hurt him. Yeah, you came in here late, Dave. Rewatch the whole joint. B. Diddy. He said, be a king for a day or live like a prince for a lifetime. I'd rather live like a prince forever. I am a prince forever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out in the forefront, but I'm not rich, but I'm cool. I haven't had to work for nobody since 2014. I would like to make more money though. Don't get me wrong, but I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. So I get that. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would rather live like this than have $1 million and then a couple mil and lose it. You know what I mean? And have to go to broke. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather live like this. I mean, I'd rather be a 6-figure nigga by the name of Jigga for a long ass time. Just a little quick 6-figure guy than, get M's and lose it all. You know what I'm saying? And also be in control of my life. Like, I get to do what I want. So same thing with running backs, man. Be, with most players, be the prince forever instead of a king for a day. The running back is only a king for a day anyway because of the nature of the position. So they need to get paid a king's ransom because they're a king for a day. You know what I mean? So you pay your running, but that's still, as a team and as a business person myself, that's a bad investment. So I understand why they don't want to pay a running back ridiculous money to get his knee blown out. And then now he got guaranteed crazy ass $100 million contract. That would kill a team. So you pay them guaranteed money, but less of it, and they're quicker to get it. They don't have the 5-year option. Don't put that on them. You can't franchise them. Don't put that on them. If you're going to franchise them, or if it's a franchise, they shouldn't be able to be franchise tag twice. You know what I'm saying? And you should pay them. They should get paid more money sooner. You know what I mean? Guaranteed money sooner. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You still living in Philly, AKOYE? Yep, North Philly. Murder. Marcy Phil, my nigga, you heard me clap you. We certainly will. North Philly motherfucker still that well. Not South Philly. Can't say South Philly, man. Although I went to high school in South Philly. Yeah. Hurts got paid the best running back contract ever. Yo, they paid Hurts all that money. I'm clapping. Like, thank you. Dak is happy. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, that's some funny shit that they paid him that much money. He went to the Super Bowl, though, so he got it. I ain't mad that y'all paid him. But it's just funny to me, man. AKOYE, do you think the Cowboys can change how QBs are paid if we choose to not shell out $50 million for a QB and sign one or draft one? We have so much talent on the team supporting that position. Y'all think that quarterback is like just a support position? That is crazy. Quarterback is a position that kills teams, and here's why it kills teams, man. That is the guy who touches the ball every play, and you have to wait for him to get good enough, if he's gonna get good enough at all, without getting injured, without switching OCs. You gotta wait. That whole team is held by the seat of their pants, waiting for a guy who may not even pan out to get good enough to read the field and pick teams apart. When you got one that already has, it's a reason why veteran quarterbacks get passed around and they can still, like Geno Smith, can still get contracts, because it takes a while. And look at how many teams he's gone through to get that contract, because they didn't have the patience for him to learn. Look at Baker Mayfield. Look at Manziel. Look at all these guys. Like, look at Watson. These guys are talented quarterbacks, but they still get moved around a lot because don't look at Jamarcus Russell. Don't nobody got time to wait for a quarterback to roll the dice and see if the motherfucker gonna be good. You know, it's not that simple. You pay a good quarterback, even if he's not the greatest. There's a reason Kirk Cousins can get money because you know what you're going to get with Kirk Cousins. He's not the best in the world. They know that when they pay him. But they know what they're not getting, which is a young guy who only know how to read half the field and they're going to take off and run. And then y'all all just hoping that he don't blow a knee out like a RG3. And now you back to being trash for 4 or 5 years waiting to find a good quarterback. It's hard to find a good quarterback. Name me, like, let's just talk NFC. NFC is full of trash quarterbacks right now, or guys that you don't know about. The Saints got what? Jameis Winston and David Carr. They not great, but they cool. You know what I'm saying? Tampa Bay got Baker Mayfield. Who the Panthers got? I don't even fucking know. Sam Darnold? And who else? They drafted somebody, didn't they? I don't know. I don't fucking know. That's my point. I should know. I should know for real. That's bad. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta. Come on, man. There are no quarterbacks out here that are like good. So why the fuck would you be trying to get rid of one that's already proven himself to you? Even if you don't think he's the greatest, don't matter. You know you can win with him. You know he can push you over the top if you put a good team around him. You know that. But that's any quarterback. If they're good enough already. But to wait and see if one's gonna get good enough, I don't want to do that shit no more, man. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Finally able to catch you live. Tayana Ellis, finally, keep up the great work. I appreciate that. He said, dang, peace be with you. Oh, because I'm still living in Philly. I'm living in Philly, but I'm licensed down to the socks with guns, man. There's rifles everywhere in my house. So you better be licensed down to the socks. Like everywhere I go, it's like my buddies go with me, like for sure. And I'm licensed to carry them. And not like I'm like I got like crazy security clearance and shit. I take classes on all kinds of shit. Sniper rifle, shotguns, AR. I take classes on everything and get certified in every fucking thing. And get certified in other states so I can go interstate with, because it's fuck this Philly. It's everywhere. It's crazy in the world right now. I don't want to be without a pistol, man. Pistol is better than money. Like, fuck that. You better have a bug out bag too. Analytics, valuing home run hitter running backs more than backs that are move the chain backs also skewed the market. It does, because we looked at guys like you got guys like remember Campbell? What was his name? Campbell. He had sickle cell from Atlanta. From Atlanta. I think his name was Campbell. But he was a guy that can get the ball 10 times a game and kill it. So was the fuck is his name? I forget names. What's the kid's name from fucking from the Saints? Kamaru, what the fuck is his name? Damn, I keep forgetting that. I must be high. I ain't even smoking no weed or nothing. I haven't smoked no weed or nothing. But you know what I'm saying? Those guys are Gillingsley from the Bills a couple years ago. Alvin Kamara. I said Kamara. But Gillingsley, he's another guy. 10 carries, he'll have 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. Great game for fantasy, right? And that's why guys are looking at those guys as like, oh, our TP will only need 10 carries to get you 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's all you need. You know what I'm saying? You have nothing the rest of the game. You get 58 yards on one game, one play, and then they're like, great game. But you don't realize, like, he had like 10 carries for nothing, and then he got a 58-yarder, and that's why his average went up, because of the 58-yarder or the 60-yarder or the 2 40-yarders, and then a bunch of 3-yarders, stuff like that. So he could have got the 2 40-yarders and set his ass down, and somebody else could have got you the 5 yards to carry. You know what I'm saying? And then you better off that way anyway, right? So it's just a weird dynamic. I think running backs need to be paid different though, but I'm not gonna beat the dead horse on that no more, man. Who's the lineman that we let go that was from Philly? Wish we kept him. Who's the old lineman? I don't know who we let go from Philly. I don't know. Oh yeah, I need I got Florida, so you can carry like 32, 42 states, something like that. I got Florida and I got Philly. And I got 235 here in Philly too, so I can work security and protection. I can do protection. I can buy armored shit. You know what I mean? Certain grades. I got all that. Like I don't even say nothing though. I say to y'all because y'all ain't from Philly, but I don't even tell people from Philly that I am that. Like I just act like I'm just a regular guy, man. You better, but yeah, you better have it. Why are motherfuckers suggesting a Kirk Cousins Dak swap? Because they are crazy. They crazy. They crazy, bro. Wouldn't be mad at them bringing Peters back at all. Wally and Ball ain't it. No. Well, Let's Go is actually playing okay. And Ball had a good game last game. Y'all got to give guys, like, how can an offensive line man get better here? How can any player get better in this day and age? When y'all want microwave shit, players take time to develop. They do. This is the NFL. And it wouldn't be very good if you could just come in and start playing as good as you was playing in college. The NFL would be pretty trash. There's not many players that come in and do what Parsons does. You know what I mean? Some players need time to develop. Like Still actually came in playing pretty good, but Still has developed. And now we love Still. But everybody, when I start saying Still was better than Collins, it was like, Collins, how? Now what? Only took a year. You know what I'm saying? Only took a year. But when I say it, it's because I see the big paws on the pup. With Ball is a smart player. He hasn't got an opportunity to let me see what he can do with those smart stuff by firing off the ball. Everybody's not a step back pass protecting lineman. And that's what Kellen Moore was asking these guys to do. And him and Philbin were asking these guys to do. They were playing, getting hit. Like they were getting hit and fired off on. That offensive line is not bad. They just changed the way they run the ball and they changed the way they pass protect. When you're pass protection on play action, you're still looking as if you're run blocking. You're firing off the ball. When you're run blocking in power run, you're firing off the ball. When you're playing zone runs and a bunch of shotgun runs and a bunch of RPO shit, you are looking like you're pass protecting. So if you're not a pass protecting lineman, you're going to suffer in that. If you don't got educated feet like Asim Richards or like Steele or like Tyron Smith, you're going to suffer. Even Tyler Smith will suffer in that type of scheme because the one bad thing about Tyler Smith is his footwork. But if you tell him, hey, you know who you're going to block, the guy in front of you, and you firing off the ball, impose your will, you can do that all day. Even Fredericks could have stayed in the league a little longer, even with the Guillain-Barré syndrome. He could have stayed in the league a little longer if we would have been firing off the ball. We weren't doing that, though. You know what I'm saying? Zach Martin is just interchangeable. He can do both. You know what I'm saying? But I think that you got to give these guys time to develop, man. If you keep bringing in older guys who are on their way out to play well now, as if we need them. Why do we need Peters when you got to start at 5 and you got Austin Richards as your 6th guy? You have 6 linemen that can play, and then other guys who have starting experience like Ball. And then you got Bass who needs to develop. Well, Lesko who needs to develop. You know what I'm saying? You got guys that are here who need to develop. They need the reps. They're not going to develop without the reps. So you might as well take them out back and put them out their misery or cut them if you're going to keep bringing in guys like an LV in the linebacker room. I like LV now, but I don't like him better than seeing what Jabril Cox and Clark can do, because him being there is every rep he gets is another rep that Cox isn't getting to get better. Every rep that Peters comes in here and plays well is another game that Ball doesn't get better. And then next year when you have to deal with Ball, he's just as good as he was this year. He got to go through the growing pains. Otherwise, it's not going to work. It ain't going to work. Y'all got to remember that. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. Ball played better, but I'd rather see Richards in the game than either Ball or Wally. To be fair, I also like Bass. Bass, I liked. He was raw though, but he was a wild man. I like the same thing I liked about Connor McGovern is what I liked about Bass. They're wild. I agree it takes time to learn the trenches, but I am talking about this year. I know you're talking about this year, but we don't need them this year because we got a starting 5 this year. You don't go into the season saying, you know, Tyron Smith is automatically going to get hurt. And if he does, you got a swing tackle in Austin Richards, and you got flex in Tyler Smith, you know, and then you got Steelback. So you got some things you can do to help out. They set Josh Ball up last year. They set him up for failure with a lot of those plays, they had him out there by himself thinking he's just going to be out there. He don't got great feet. He ain't going to be out there, at right tackle or left tackle. He's a guard or a center. He don't got it. I remember we used to hate Doug Free, and we missed him when he retired. Him and Leary, both of those guys. Didn't the Dolphins move Connor Williams to center? Maybe. He's a smart player. I think he can play the center. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, man. Y'all chat's kind of slowing up, and I got shit to do, so we about to wrap up. I get what you're saying, but we need LV now. We do. But last year, did we need what's the dude's name came in here? Barr? Anthony Barr comes in. So now you got Anthony Barr at LVE. Well, Clark was hurt. Cox was coming off an injury. I get that. But later in the season, when it was time for both those guys to get some playing time, they're behind guys who now are vying and putting stuff on tape for the next team they may be on, whether it's LVE or Barr, who both needed to put something on tape. So you're going to let those veterans play over the young guys. So now we still got to get the growing pains out of Cox. And I pause. Bro, hey, man. Mason fucking Cameron would light me the fuck up right now. But you still have to get the growing pain out of Brillo and Clark because they didn't get much of that last year, man. Yeah. I love our starting five. I'm nervous about our tackles. When healthy, we do have the best bookends in NFL, in my opinion. Yeah. Any advice for someone new to the Cowboys content game? Well, number one, it's a reason. Do you see any Cowboys content behind me? No. Do you see any Cowboys references in my name? No. Because you are a brand. Don't give your brand to the Cowboys. It's just my opinion. There are guys who are further along, like Law and Vaj. Vaj is even not a Cowboy brand. He's a brand that's a Cowboy fan. But there's a few. Boss Cowboy. These are my guys. But advice to me is those guys are already staples. Like there's enough followers and fans to go around though, because we have a very large fan base. So, and then most of the guys like you guys all watch all of our channels anyway, right? But don't give your brand to the Cowboys. That would be if you're gonna create content, make it football based and you're a Cowboy fan, but don't make your name Cowboy based because you are pigeonholed to only Cowboy content when you do that. I've gotten more views from boxing content than I do from Cowboy content. That's just truth. I get more love from boxing fans than I do Cowboy fans, even though I'm in the Cowboy realm. But I want to be able to break down anybody I feel like breaking down football wise and with a focus on the Cowboys. So what I would say is that make sure you make your brand flexible enough to be able to do and pivot if you want to. You know what I mean? So that's all. You know what I mean? The other guys who have solidified themselves, like Mark Holmes, those guys in the Cowboy world, they're like grandfathered into that Cowboy space, like they're in that. You know what I mean? So, and that's the route that they chose. My advice would be to make it so that you're flexible to do whatever you want. Even Law Nation can do whatever he wants. Law Nation is his name. Vash Lombardi, that's his name. Skywalker Still, that's his name. Foots the King, that's his name. I wouldn't put Cowboy in my name. I wouldn't give my channel to the Cowboys. My channel is mine. You know what I mean? So keep it that way. I would say that. That's advice. And then two, pump out content like never before and try to figure out what your USA is, your unique sales advantage. If you're good at analytical shit, then make breakdowns your thing. But don't think that you have to get into doing breakdowns. If you're a news guy that likes to look at stats, do some news, right? But figure out what your angle on the news is going to be. You know what I mean? That's how I would approach it. Man. But if you want more advice, just DM me on Instagram. I got no problem talking to you. Everybody know I'll talk to anybody. Yeah, not to mention we've got 3 safeties that play linebacker as well. Boom, you're right. LVE played well last year, especially versus the 49ers. When y'all say this, he played okay. Right. He played good in the playoffs. I feel like. I don't think he played great during the season. He played okay during the season. I want to see LB make plays. Like you're the reason we stopped this play. Make plays. He did that in the Tampa Bay game like crazy. I like it. Mace probably be like, damn, you heard what Clay said? This nigga's crazy. Yeah, man. The two weaknesses we have is our frail Hall of Fame left tackle. Switching Tyron to swing will help have him healthy in the playoffs and possibly extend his career. Players get hurt sometimes, man. And sometimes you get a compound injury due to the fact that you had to overcompensate. Your left leg might have to overcompensate from healing from the right leg injury. So you might be weak in some ways. Or you might be skipping a lot of leg day or not being able to get road work in. So you're kind of tight. That's what I think happened to him last year. He tore that hamstring. Hamstring injuries or soft tissue injuries come from not running. He wasn't able to run the year before. You know what I'm saying? Because he was rehabbing. So that's what's going on with Tyron Smith. I don't think Tyron Smith is at the end. I think Tyron Smith got maybe 4 more years left. You think we're set at D-line depth after this DA garbage? Yeah. I think DA getting out the way actually helps guys like Land to get on the field. And I think Land is a top pass rusher in this league. Again, you got top pass rushers who got drafted all over the league. None of them are better than Land right now in preseason. So Land, with a year under his belt, is going to be a premier pass rusher next to across from Micah Parsons. Crazy. And then we got Fowler, who will get on the field more if DA is not here, who I think is also a better pass rusher and sets the edge way better than Armstrong. Armstrong and D-Law on the field at the same time, you got some liabilities when it comes to running quarterbacks and containing. You know, D-Law I can take because when he's not containing, it's because he's making sure you can't run up the middle when D-Law out there. He crashing the B-gap, bro. And he going to fuck everything up over there. If you bounce to the outside, you might have it. But you crashing the B-gap or you coming into the B-gap, you ain't getting there. I can't say that for Dorrance Armstrong. He crashing inside, and he ain't stopping you. He might trail the play pretty well, but that's it. LV had moments last year. He did better when Hank and Clark got into rotation. Yep. I think he is one of those guys who plays better when you count on him. Just have to stay within himself. Okay. Who don't play better with Hankins in there? That's what I'm gonna ask you. Who don't play better? Do you think he would have one? Do you think that Cox or Clark or Overshawn or Harper will only have one tackle for loss if Hankins is in front of him? Do you think that? I don't think that. Do you think that? No, 4 tackles for loss. I'm sorry. I'm cheating you. 4 tackles for loss. Do you think that? I don't think that. Pressures? You think they won't have no pressures? He blitzed a lot. He get no pressures. Yeah. Now, Philip, why would you make Tyron swing? Yeah, that's your. Let's see. Love and Aries, what up, though? Matty D. So if you could play better with a better DT, then why not the better player? So if he could play better with a better DT, why not the better player? Exactly. Why not these young guys? They're gonna play better with a better DT. Cowboys will draft another linebacker next year for depth. Clark replaces LV, and Overshawn is LB number 2 in 2024. No, he's not. LB number 2 in 2024 will be Jabril Cox. Because if for no other reason, Overshawn's gonna need 2 years. Nobody comes back from that injury, from an ACL tear, and kills it their first year back. They just you're gonna play, but you're not gonna play a lot. They won't want him to ease into it. Nobody comes back from that year 1 and plays well. I haven't seen it. DA can go in. I want to see Golston in anyway. Yep, me too. Johnson. You finished my quote perfectly. LV is the definition of an adequate starter. He is. He's adequate. He's adequate. But I think those guys will do better because even if they give up a little bit, they so wild, they're going to make you more splash plays than he will because they wild and they fast. Speed kills, man. Those guys can move. And if you keep them freed up, they're going to hurt something. You let them run free at running backs, they're going to knock motherfuckers' face through the ear holes, man. But as I said, as I promised, I don't want to linger on too long because it makes it hard for these to edit. I want to edit some of these eventually, start cutting them up into other videos. And when they're 3 hours long, it's a fat chance I'm not doing it. Take too fucking long. So let me get to my other work, and I got some other work as far as business is concerned to do too. But appreciate y'all jumping on. As I said, y'all keep tuning in the way y'all do. I'm going to keep coming on and just talking live and shooting the shit with y'all, man. I like doing this shit, man. So I'll talk to y'all soon, but appreciate it. And make sure you guys hit the like button before you leave. All y'all, don't just leave me, bro. Don't leave me, bro. Don't leave me, bro. Hit the like button. And let me see what Chris Perez said. He said, yeah, Overshawn got hurt in an awkward time of the season. You're right. He might miss 2 seasons. He will. He's going to work on rehabbing this year. Then next year, he's going to have to learn the things he wasn't learning by being in the locker room this year. So Overshawn will be a rookie next year. So the next year will be a red shirt year for him. He's an injured rookie next year. That means it's going to be a red shirt season, just like they did Cox. And then 2025, you'll see a lot of Overshawn, man. Yep. But peace. Love y'all.